Hit it, Phil.
Can it be the breeze that fills the trees with rare and magic perfume? Oh, no, it isn't the breeze. It's Jackson time. La, da, da, da.
Stay tuned.
Right after this episode.
For our discussion.
From Television City in Hollywood, Chrysler Corporation presents Jack Benny, Van Johnson, Yvonne DeCarlo, Georgia Gibb, Sean Durant, starring in Shower of Stars, the brightest stars of Hollywood, brought to you by Chrysler Corporation, maker of the 5 great cars of the forward look. Plymouth, Dodge, DeSoto, Chrysler, and the exclusive Imperial. Chrysler Corporation, the forward look. And now here's your host, Bill Lundigan.
You can applaud a little bit if you want. Thought for a second I had lost every friend that I had in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shower of Stars. And tonight, Chrysler Corporation is proud to present, and you'd better applaud him too, that's all I can say, proud to present as your master of ceremonies, one of America's truly great comedians, Mr. Jack Benny.
Didn't recognize him with his new face. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much, and good evening. This is my last Shower of Stars of the season. And I must say that I've had a lot of fun doing these shows. And we've had so many wonderful guest stars. I enjoyed working with all of them. And during all this time, we've only had one disappointment. Because, you see, tonight, besides the guests that have already been mentioned, we were supposed to have had Mr. Yul Brynner on the show, but we just couldn't get together. It wasn't the money or anything like that, but he insisted on wearing his hat. See, and my hiring Yul Brynner for television wearing a hat makes about as much sense as signing Jane Mansfield for a radio show. Give you the time. But Mr. Brynner has been a little bit sensitive lately about taking his hat off, and I can understand it too, because he's the only man in Hollywood whose head was banned in Boston. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have really a great treat in store for you, because tonight, for the first time on live television, Van Johnson is going to make an appearance, and I want to tell you, all week he's been so jittery and nervous, I never thought we'd even get him to come on. In fact, yesterday, during rehearsal, we went to the little, we have a little snack bar, you know, right off the stage here, you see. We went in to have a cup of coffee, and Van was a nervous wreck. He, well, let me show you what happened.
Hey, your hamburger is ready, Mr. Johnson.
Thanks, Tony.
Lettuce, tomatoes, chili, cheese, pickles, relish. Say, Tony.
Yeah?
You forgot the hamburger.
You want to know something, Mr. Johnson?
You're the first guy this week that caught on.
Here it is.
Gee, I kind of hate to see it go.
Oh, never mind, Tony. I'm too nervous to eat anyway. I'll just have some coffee. Here's a dime.
Uh-oh, here comes Diamond Jim Brady.
Van, what's the matter? You spilling all your coffee?
I just can't help it, Jack. This television show has me so nervous I can't see straight.
Well, look, why don't you just sit down and relax, and I'll join you in a little while.
right.
This stuff is bitter today, you know?
You better put a lot of cream in it. You just strained the grease off the griddle.
Listen, a fine time to tell me.
That'll be a dime for the coffee, please, Mr. Bennett.
Here you are.
Gee, a Roosevelt dime.
What's so strange about that?
Teddy?
Now, Van, really, tell me, what's bothering you?
Oh, Jack, I know it may sound childish to you, but I'd like to get off this show.
Van, you're making a mountain out of a molehill. There's nothing to it. Look, once you do a live television show, you'll never do anything else.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Look, Van.
Jack, let me tell you something. You know, when you do films, if you make a mistake, you can take it over again. You can take it over 20 times if you want to. But if you make one mistake on a live show, you're dead.
Oh, it isn't that serious.
Look, Jack, why don't you just let me come in, stand up, take a bow, and go home, huh?
Stand up, take a bow before the finish? How can you do that?
Well, Shoemaker did it in the Kentucky Derby.
I lost $2 on it. Look at Van. You're nervous now. But when you get out there on that stage, you'll be fine. And anyway, the audience will be just tickled to death to see you. They'll be pulling for you.
They will?
Certainly. And anyway, you have the ability. I mean, you've played before an audience.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And anyway, I'll be standing there right alongside of you.
Oh, I guess you're right, Jack.
Certainly.
I think I've been putting too much emphasis on it. You know, after all, it's only a show.
That's all it is. That's the way to look at it.
And I'm beginning to feel better already, Jack.
Of course, there's nothing.
I was a little nervous, but that's over. I'm fine now.
Good. Now, Van, when we get into the
Attention,
sketch...
please. Attention, please. Jack, Benny, cast, and crew. Report to Studio 33 immediately.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's what happened yesterday. But last night, I spent 3 hours with Van and calmed him down. He's fine now. You know, I'm pretty convincing when I want to be. And after all, all of his stage fright is gone. And he's very, very anxious to come on. And here he is for the first time on live television, Van Johnson. Attaboy, Van. It's live, you know. You can't take it over again. Look at Van. Last night you were so calm and everything. I mean, what happened?
That's right, Jack. I was pretty calm last night, and then I went home and I kept getting up out of bed all night and going to the mirror and saying, Van, there's no need to be nervous. Now, tomorrow when you go on Jack's show, you're going to be great. You'll be sensational. You'll make that Benny look like a bum. All night long it was the same thing. You're going to be great. You're going to be wonderful. There's nothing to worry about. Don't let that big hand, Jack Benny, bother you.
Man, wait a minute. You said that to the mirror?
No, my wife said that to me.
Your wife, Evie? Well, I thought Evie liked me.
No. Anyway, Jack, I'm so upset I don't know what I'm doing.
What'd you say, Van?
I said I'm so upset I don't know what I'm doing.
I didn't want you talking to a laugh.
Oh.
But why?
Oh, I don't know, Jack. You know, that's always been my trouble. I'm completely lacking in self-assurance. I have no confidence in myself. And the thought of standing out here with 70 million people watching me is pretty frightening.
Oh, well, now, wait a minute, man. After all, I haven't got 70 million viewers. I only have about 40 million.
Well, with me on the show, you're a cinch to pick up another 30 million.
Well, for someone who has no confidence, you're certainly taking the right kind of pills.
Well, to tell you the truth, Jack, now that I've been out here for a while, I'm beginning to feel a little more secure.
Well, that's good. That's good.
And after all, there's no reason why the two of us shouldn't work very well together. We have so much in common.
You mean your wife doesn't like you either? Hey, man, no, what is this? What is this that you... What do you mean we have in common? Yeah, what do you mean?
Well, you know, we're the only two actors in Hollywood who were not in Around the World in 80 Days.
You know, I never thought of that. That's right, we weren't in that picture. How come you weren't in that picture?
Well, it just happens that when they were casting that picture, I was off on a hunting trip in Australia. Where were you?
On my knees in Mike Todd's office. Well, now, look, Van. Now, when we get to the finish of the show...
Hello, Jack. Hello, Van.
Vincent?
Yes?
Vincent, what are you doing here?
Well, Jack, as you remember, a few months ago, I was the guest on the Shower of Stars, and, well, it was such a delightful experience, I just had to be here again. It's such fun being on this show. It's just wonderful.
Well, Van, Vincent, I mean, that's very... You're Van. Vincent, Vincent, that's very, very flattering, but, I mean, if you'd have told me a week ago, I would have written you into the show.
Oh, no, Jack, that isn't the idea. That would have been imposing on you. No, I don't want the job. I just want to be here. The atmosphere of this show is so casual and carefree and cozy. The way you work with everybody, Jack, I just love it here, even if I only watch.
Well, I mean, if you want to watch, I can certainly get you a seat. A washer...
Oh, no, Jack, please, don't disturb anybody. I'll just stand to one side. So talented.
Van, in the sketch...
Jack,
what?
Does that sort of thing happen very often on your show?
No, it never happens. Look at Van.
Well, Jack, doesn't it upset you?
No.
Gee, I wish I had your guts.
Now, Van, look at when we do the sketch...
Oh, by the way, Van,
you
know, I ran into your wife, Evie, this morning, and she was telling me about how frightened and nervous you were about appearing on the show with Jack.
Yes, she was so right. You should have seen me. I had more goose pimples and freckles.
Well, I know exactly what you've been going through, because a few months ago when I was on the show... Well, when I was on the show, I had the same feeling of inadequacy and unimportance, but it was so ridiculous because we did the show, and the next morning I found out that because of my appearance, he had picked up 30 million more viewers.
Will you two kids step aside and let Mama look at Boo Boo?
I am sorry. Please forgive me. Go on with the show.
Now, Van, we're going to do the sketch.
Oh,
just
incidentally,
before...
Jack.
Yes.
Jack, you know, I wanted to ask you something. When I was standing in the wings watching, well, I just wondered, have you changed writers?
No, why do you ask?
Well, because when I was on the show a few months ago, it seemed to me that the laughs were much bigger.
Bigger?
I'm beginning to get nervous again.
Van, let's not go through that. Look at you, were calm down,
Van.
and you didn't have
Van, I have got to tell you about the sketch that You see, I was in an isolation booth, and when I stepped out, my pant legs were rolled up to here. Oh, the audience reaction was hilarious.
Well, if that's all it takes.
Now, wait a minute! Look, I was kind enough, Vincent, to let you step out here and watch. Now you ruined the whole routine here.
Oh, Jack, I am sorry. That wasn't my intention, believe me.
I don't care what it was. Look, I don't need you to help me. And I don't have to have anybody help me. I can do this show alone.
Well, Jack, if that's the way you feel about it, I don't think you need me either.
No, wait, Van.
Let's go back to the wagon and get some more coffee.
Look,
Oh, don't worry about Jack. He's a darling.
no, wait a minute. I didn't mean it. What's going on here, anyway? Interruptions and nervousness and temperament. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce one of the greatest singing stars in America. This lady's... I don't know, why am I mad at her? This lady's recordings have always been among the best sellers. And here she is, her nibs, Miss Georgia Gibbs.
Grab your coats, get your hats, leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear that pitter-pat? And that happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. Now I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade, baby, but I'm not afraid, 'cause this rover, baby, I just crossed over. If I never have a cent, I'll be as rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. Crossed over, and if I never ever have a cent, I'll be as rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side, on the sunny side. I'll be be rich as Rockefeller with gold dust at my feet. On the honey, money, sunny side of the street.
And now your host for Chrysler Corporation, Bill Lundigan.
Well, that's Reggie Gardner, the man who makes noises like trains and ships and things. Reggie.
Oh, hello, Bill.
What are you standing there with that wallpaper for?
Shh, I'm listening.
Listening? Listening to what?
To the sounds of the wallpaper, of course.
Are you kidding?
No, lend an ear. Take a look. You see? Get it?
You know, that's remarkable.
We can do the same thing with cars, too.
Do you mean that you can deliver our message with sound and gestures?
Sure. You tell it your way, I'll tell it mine.
Well, fine. You know, one of the reasons for the big switch this year to the cars with the forward look is Chrysler Corporation's leadership in engineering. Leadership that brings you the sensational new torsion-air ride. And as you know, Reg, most of the other new cars still sway and lean on curves. But Chrysler Corporation cars with torsion air go around the sharpest curves with practically no lean, no tilt. And then, when you come to a stop, other cars dip and dive. Oh, no. But with Chrysler Corporation's exclusive new torsion air ride, there's practically no dip, no dive.
If you'll pardon me.
I see that you do get the message, Reg.
Oh, of course, Bill. After driving a Chrysler Corporation car myself, I know what you say is so true.
Mm-hmm. And Chrysler Corporation cars like this swept-wing Dodge take corners flat with practically no lean, no tilt. The roughest bumps and bounces disappear as torsion air ride carpets the road. And when you stop, our cars stay heads up while other cars dip and dive. Torsion air ride is just one of the many engineering features you get only in Chrysler Corporation cars. You also get exclusive push-button torque flight, total contact brakes, and full-time power steering. Plus, proved economy as demonstrated in the Mobil Gas economy run with our unprecedented clean sweep victory. No wonder the switch is on from other makes of cars to the 5 great cars of
the forward look.
Thank you, Reggie. And now, to return to Jack Benny and the second act of Shower of Stars.
Tony, hurry up with my hamburger, will you? Because I got to get back on stage.
Okay. Here you are. That'll be 35 cents, please.
Gee, I left all my money in my dressing room.
You left part of your money in your dressing room. All of your money you could have leave in the Grand Canyon.
Can I have a napkin, please?
Well, sure. Here you are, Mr. DeCarlo.
Oh! Come on! Join me, will you? Want to sit over there and join me? Sit right over here. Well, how do you like doing television after making so many movies, Yvonne?
I like it very much, Jack.
Well, I understand you just finished a picture with Clark Gable, is that right?
Yes, it's called Band of Angels.
I hear it's very good.
Well, with Clark Gable, how can it miss?
Yeah, he is pretty good, there's no question about it. How do you like working with me?
Oh, I don't mind.
Well, thank you.
As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to like it. You know, your show tonight is coming along very, very well. I think it's very funny.
You do?
Yeah, that Vincent Price is a scream.
He's not even on the show. He only came here to watch.
Well, he sure watches funny.
I don't care what he did. You and Georgia Gibbs and Van Johnson are my guests.
I know, Jack. And I'm looking forward to the skit we're going to do a little bit later. Van Johnson, he's so attractive.
Yeah. You know, he's a fine actor and he's such a nice fella, but I can't figure out why all of you actresses are so crazy about him.
Well, you've never kissed him.
That's true. But let me ask you something. What has Van got? I mean, what has Van got that makes him so attractive to women?
Well, I can't explain that to you, Jack.
Why not?
Well, you've either got it or you haven't got it. And if you haven't got it, it would be too depressing to explain it to you.
Well, let's forget about him. If he hasn't got it, that's his hard luck.
One hot dog, please.
Coming up.
Hey, Mr. Kitzel! How are you?
Wonderful. What are you doing here?
What am I doing here? I'm on the Shower of Stars.
Oh, with Vincent Price.
He's only watching.
Oh, Mr. Benny, that lady sitting over there, isn't that Yvonne DeCarlo? You know, she reminds me of my wife.
She does?
Yes, every time I look at my wife, I think, why couldn't she be Yvonne DeCarlo?
Well, you can't have everything.
No.
I'll see you later.
Thank you, all right.
Here's your hot dog, Calvin.
Oh, thank you. Here's your money. Wait a minute. This is the way you make a hot dog?
What are you, a wise guy or something? You think you know how to do it better?
My good man, you certainly got cheek. Are you unaware to whom you speak? It was I who first created, if you're caring, the greatest thing since marinated herring. I mean that pickle in the middle and the mustard on top. Just the way you like it, and they're all red hot. Tasty little hot dog toasted right, with a bark as tender as its bite. Everybody's happy and the laughter on side, till the sun gets pickled in a sauerkraut sky. But what's a little raindrop when you got pickle in the middle, sizzling off the griddle, pickle in the middle.
Hip, hip, hooray for, hip, hip, hooray for.
Pickle in the middle and the mustard on top. Champagne dinner where the cork goes pop. In a little cozy rendezvous, where a handsome man has taken you. Violins and candlelight will set the mood. And the waiter asks you how you like your food. Suddenly you da la 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 la. Pickle in the middle,
Pickle in the middle, pickle in the middle. Hip, hip, hooray for, hip, hip, hooray for.
Pickle in the middle with the mustard on top. I am so embarrassed I could simply drop. How could any chef of my renown so have let his reputation down? Now I will be criticized and laughed about, drummed out of the diners club without a doubt. I have served a hot dog made without pickle in the middle.
Pickle in the middle, pickle in the middle. Hip, hip, hooray for, pickle in the middle and the mustard on top.
Just the way you like it, and they're all red hot.
always more exotic when you've got
pickle in the middle.
Spices up your middle.
Pickle in the middle. And the mustard on top.
And you got a nerve to call such a concoction a hot dog? Shame on you.
Oh, that Mr. Kitzel, he's so cute. You know, a little while ago I was walking down the hall And he came right up to me and kissed me. And then he apologized. He said he thought I was his wife.
He's not only tricky, but cute. Or cute, but tricky. Well, anyway, slight mistake. It doesn't mean anything. You better get dressed for the next scene, for the sketch. Huh?
All right,
I'll
Jack.
see you later. Okay.
Cup of tea, please, Tony.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, George. Yeah, I certainly enjoyed your number. That you
Oh,
did out
thank
there.
you, Jack.
I see you're dressed for your second one, too.
You kidding? I just finished my second number a few minutes ago.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's going on now on the show? I mean, what's that applause? Who's on the stage?
Vincent Price.
What?
It's a riot.
He promised me he'd only watch the show. That's all.
Here's your tea, Miss Gibbs.
Oh, thank you.
Gee, I wish I could have seen you on the stage. I never get to see anybody. I'm stuck out here in this wagon all day long, from early in the morning until late at night. I never get to see any shows. By the time I get home, it's so late. It's even too late to see the late shows. All day long, I'm scrubbing the griddle, making coffee, making hamburgers. Sometimes I feel like I want to sell this wagon and get out of show business.
Oh, that's really ironic. Here you are serving to all the greatest stars in the business, and you never get to see them perform. Gee, don't you ever get any time off?
You know, on Sunday evening between 7:30 and 8.
Well, that's when the Jack Benny show is on.
That's what's ironic. The one guy I can see, I can't stand.
Honey, how would you like it if I sang my brand new recording for you right now, huh? You know, every fan counts. I'll stand right over here, huh?
No, stand down there and you'll gain an additional 30 million viewers.
You left me and you went away. You said that you'd be back in just a day. You've broken your promise and you left me here alone. I don't know why you did, dear, but I do know that you're gone. I'm walking the floor over you. I can't sleep a wink, that is true. I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart breaks right in two. Walking the floor over you. Now, darling, you know I love you well. I love you more than I can ever tell. I thought that you wanted me and always would be mine. But you went and left me here with troubles on my mind. I'm walking the floor over you. I can't sleep a wink, that is true. I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart breaks right in two. Walking the floor over you. Walking the floor over you.
Reggie, that was just delightful, the way you explained Chrysler Corporation's engineering leadership.
Oh, thank you, Mary. I can do the same thing for Chrysler Corporation's styling, too. Take this Plymouth, for instance.
Styling?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see you do the fins of the other two low-priced cars.
Oh, no, not for me, please.
I know what you mean. They don't have a...
They don't have
a distinctive look.
That's it, exactly.
Ah, but the Plymouth fins have a real look of motion, a sleek, exciting look, don't you think?
Pure caviar.
Not only that, these handsome fins give you a more stable ride. Easier steering on windy days.
Exactly.
Because, you see, this is styling with a purpose. Styling that's right and looks it. Now, take the silhouettes of other makes of cars, for instance. Know what you mean. Their lines are interrupted, boxy, broken up.
That's right.
But the lines of the Plymouth
Ah.
are clean, smooth, unbroken, with a new lowness. This is truly the new shape of motion.
The forward look.
Like the inimitable Reggie Gardner just showed you, Plymouth offers smart new lowness, yet it's so easy to get into, and there's so much more room when you're inside. This is styling with a purpose, styling leadership.
And another big reason why in every part of the country the switch is on in the low price field to Plymouth. And now we present Jack Benny, Van Johnson, and Yvonne DeCarlo in a portrayal of life in the tropics. Our drama takes place on a banana plantation deep in the heart of the Central American jungle, where the American manager and his wife brave the intense heat, the elements, the natives, and the terrible, terrible loneliness. And here to set you in the tropical mood is Jean Durand with the Lester Horton Dancers.
Shangoy, ago mayaba. Shangoy, ago mayaba. Kala kala kulu kulu maya maya taude. Mili kala kala kulu kulu maya maya taude. Ago maya ba. Moi di ogubada guiseleyo. Selena Poyovina confidele caronzole. Moi di lena mourina quitté. Legba de kataulo. Legba de yedoyo. Yo poco connais-moi, el Congo y'appelle, appela et Congo. El Congo y'appelle, yo poco connais-moi, el Congo y'appelle, appela et Congo. El Congo. Beautiful girl, why you only standing while everybody's dancing? Hey, you beautiful girl, why don't you dance with them? The rhythm she start and she get into the heart, making everybody dance. Why you stand and watch while the other people dance? Why you stand and watch while the other people dance? Well, Congo, Congo begin and all the people thrill. Well, Congo, Congo begin, you cannot stand still. Well, Congo, Congo begin, you feel the beat you see. Well, Congo, Congo begin, you gotta dance with me.
dancing up a storm. Dancing up a storm, dancing up a storm, dancing up a storm, dancing up a storm.
Rain, rain, nothing but rain. And look at these horrible mosquitoes. Oh, why did I have to leave my comfortable home in Milwaukee to come to a miserable place like this? It isn't bad enough with this weather, but you have to go on with those ridiculous experiments day in and day out. Don't you realize?
Have a little patience, dear. You know these experiments are my whole life.
Well, they don't have to be mine. Just listen to that rain.
Yeah. How long has it been coming down now?
Well, we got here 4 years ago. It's been pouring ever since.
It's been 4 years since I watered the lawn? Yes, it has. Oh, well, keep your fingers crossed, dear. This thing works, we may be home sooner than you think.
I still say you've been wasting your time. You'll never be able to cross a banana with a coconut. You'll be the laughing stock of the entire scientific world.
Oh, yeah? Well, they laughed at Luther Burbank when he developed the grapefruit. They laughed at Fulton when he invented the steamboat. They laughed at Edison when he invented electricity. But he had the last laugh when they raised the rates. Think what it'll mean to humanity when I can develop a skid-proof banana peel. This may work. I shall try it once more. This isn't going to hurt. Yellow banana.
Well, that does it. I've had it. It's not only the loneliness and the climate, but all night long, those tom-toms. The natives are getting restless again. You know, if you stay here any longer, you're going to end up like your last superintendent, Frisbee.
Well, they're sending me a new superintendent. He'll be here pretty soon. What happened to Frisbee was his own fault. He didn't know how to handle the natives. He'd have been all right if he'd hadn't lost his head.
Poor Frisbee.
Yeah.
He was so fond of the new pith helmet his mother sent him.
Don't worry, old man. We're going to continue with the good work. All right?
All right.
Just listen to that rain. I'm going out of my mind. Gregory, this is the end. I'm leaving you.
Shirley. Shirley, darling, you can't mean that.
I've never meant anything more in my life.
But what about the years that we spent together? What about the marriage vows? Surely you can't forget them, Shirley. I mean, Shirley, you can't forget them, Shirley.
Those marriage vows never said anything about your crummy banana plantation.
But you promised to love, honor, and obey. Till death do us part. Remember that. Till death do us part.
Yes. Till death do us part. I can't go on living like this.
Wait a minute. You can't think of taking your own life.
I'm not.
She doesn't kill a mosquito, I'm in trouble. Please, don't put away the gun. I'll let you go. I'll help you pack. Come in, quick. I'll help you. Don't get nervous, man. Please.
Are you Mr. Harper, the manager?
Yes.
Well, I'm Bob Lawson, your new assistant.
Well, how are you, Lawson? Glad to see you. I want you to meet my wife, Shirley. Shirley.
Well, how do you do?
How do you do?
Shirley, you're unpacking.
I've decided to stay. I like it here.
But you said you couldn't stand it.
Oh, it's not so bad. So it rains a little. Anyway, a wife's place should always be close to her husband.
You're going too, Frisbee. All right? All right. I'm glad you wrote, Sir Lawson. I imagine you've had experience in this sort of thing.
Oh, yes. The manager on my last job had a wife, too.
Well, you'll find it pretty tough out here in the jungle. Many times your body will be racked with pain. I said pain! Stupid sound man. You thought I said rain. There's that darn leak again. Well, I'll get the pen and get it. This I don't understand at all. Lawson, we got a responsible job down here. You know, when I first came here, I didn't...
What's that?
Tom-toms.
Is it the natives?
Well, it ain't Desi on ass.
Yeah, those natives are getting dangerous. They hate us.
I know. They told me coming up here. They say that you brought evil to the jungle. They say that these experiments of yours are just a front, that you're really exporting calypso singers.
What?
They say the 3 lords and a duke are missing.
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, listen to those drums, I'm afraid.
They're coming a little closer. They're vicious and they're carrying spears.
Spears? Ha! They're umbrellas.
I tell you, they're spears. And we'll all be killed. Somebody's got to go out there and reason with them.
I'll do it.
Wait a minute. Are you crazy? Do you think I'd let you go out there and face those savages? This is a man's job. He'll go.
All right, I'll go.
Watch out for the spears. Oh, look, he's approaching them now. Oh, they don't want to talk. They're attacking him. Oh, he'll be killed. Quickly, run for your life. Open the door.
You see? I told you they weren't umbrellas.
Oh, no?
I'll be darned. I can't win one argument.
Oh, darling, what have they done to you? Quickly.
Wait a minute. They're closing in on us. Here comes the native chief. Hope he doesn't take the bananas. As long as he comes, just take these. Here. Chief, I heard all we were doing was Vincent! What are you doing now? You were supposed to be watching.
Well, Jack, I was. That's just what I was doing. I was standing in the wings watching, and somebody grabbed me and put me into this ridiculous outfit and shoved me onto the stage.
Well, why didn't you do something?
Well, I was going to. But then I thought that this outfit might give the audience another chance to take a peek at my knee.
You spoiled the whole sketch.
Look, Gregory, we have to get on
It's
with
not Gregory, it's Jack. And I'm not going on with the show unless you get off the stage.
You can't talk to me like that. I'm the chief.
I'll cut that out.
Well, all I wanted to do was to be in Jack's last shower.
Wait a minute. What did you say?
I said all I wanted to do was to be in your last shower.
Well, I think I can fix that. Come on. Rain!
In just a moment, you'll meet Steve Cochran, Anna Maria Alberghetti, Corinne Calvé, and Carl Esmond in a preview of next week's exciting Climax program. And now, once again, your host, Bill Lundigan.
Here's dramatic proof of Chrysler Corporation's engineering leadership.
On that day, the 5 great cars of Chrysler Corporation made a clean sweep of the mobile gas economy run, winning every event. This has never before been achieved by any automobile manufacturer. The Imperial was first in both the overall sweepstakes and in Class D. The Class C winner was a Chrysler, with this DeSoto running a close second. The Class B winner was a Dodge, with Plymouth the winner in Class A. First in every event, Chrysler Corporation demonstrates proved performance and economy. Another reason why the switch is on to the cars of
Chrysler Corporation, also winner of Motor Trend Magazine's award for achievement. Let one of our dealers demonstrate this performance for you this weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, next on Climax, Bait for the Tiger. In next week's story, a beautiful young girl is held captive within the walls of an ancient castle on the French Riviera. Steve Cochran plays the part of Tom Wells, an adventurous young American determined to rescue Anna Maria Alberghetti, whether she is only Angèle Corton, as he believes, or, as she insists, the Comtesse Renée de Garac.
I don't know what they've done to you, Angèle, but I can't believe you really mean to go through with this swindle. Not of your own free will.
Thomas, why do you doubt me? My silly, doubting Thomas. But I am Renée de Garac.
I don't believe that. You know I don't believe it. But you're in danger here. You've got to go away with me, now.
No, Thomas. My place is here.
Corinne Calvé is a worthy partner for her husband, Paul, played by Carl Esmond.
Paul?
Yes, my dear.
Paul, I think if it would help our plan, that could interest Mr. Wells romantically.
Only to keep him from falling in love with a girl, of course.
Well, that would be fatal.
Certainly.
Mm-hmm. How well you understand.
Next week on Climax, Bait for the Tiger, adapted for Climax by Whitfield Cook, from a prize-winning novel by Nicholas Montserrat, starring Steve Cochran, Anna Maria Alberghetti, Corinne Calvé, and Carl Esmond. This is Bill Lundigan saying thank you, and remember, traffic control begins at your wheel. And now, back to our guest stars for tonight.
Yeah, he was supposed to pay us before we left the show.
That's right. That was the deal. He said he'd pay us before he left the studio. Where is he?
Hey, there he is now.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Judge.
So
Thank
long,
you.
Van.
Good night.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Goodbye, girl. Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, this was the last shower, but I'll be seeing you on my own show. Be sure and watch the Mars and Gower Champion next Sunday. I'll be seeing you on my own show a week from Sunday night. Thank you.
Well, hello again. This is Buck Benny speaking. I am joined by Hope Sears. First time back in ages. When do you think is the last time you were with us? Any idea? Months ago, right?
Summer, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. And Kathy couldn't make it, and then Hope said maybe I can come in, and I'm like, yeah, because I love to have at least one female voice as we're talking. It's a great thing. And then of course John Henderson here. Good job.
Hello,
John. And we haven't done one of these. John, how long? A month since we've done one?
Yeah, it's been probably the longest break in a long time where we've not
Yeah.
talked about Jack Benny.
I just my daughter got married a couple weeks ago. It was beautiful. Gosh, what a wonderful way. I loved it. And I won't go into all of it. I shared a lot before we came on. But it just before the wedding and then right after, there was just too much going on. I just had to take a little break for a little while. And I knew we had enough shows like stacked up and things and where we were at that we'd be fine. So if you haven't noticed me posting as much and things, that is why, because my daughter was getting married and some things are more important than podcasting and are more, so it's fine. And then my Seahawks are doing fantastic. 39, yeah, Jack Benny. And anyway, so we just so you get a timeline for us, we just played the Rams for the second time. The Rams were up 30 to, I think, 14 at one point. So we were in the fourth quarter, we were over 15 points behind. I was telling the folks here that the stat they threw up there that like we'd won 0 games being that far behind out of like 176 times in the course of Seahawks history that we were in that position. And we've managed to win the game. It's like, oh my gosh. And then the other team had won. They've been in that position being 15 points ahead in the fourth quarter, 170 times themselves, whatever's 160, I can't remember. And they'd won all of them except for one. But now they've won all of them except for 2 because we pulled it off. And so, gosh, my house was just screaming going on and just mayhem. It was lovely. So
well, I'm glad you waited till it wasn't so busy a few days before Christmas here.
Yes. Well, I loved it because we played 2 games in 1 week because we had an early game so it ended up being we had 2 games within 5 days of each other or something. And we won both of them, barely both of them, but we won them both. And now what's kind of nice is now they don't have another game until after the Christmas season's over and all of that. And it's kind of nice because we can just focus on Christmas and family and all of these things. So it worked out well. Anyway, so that's one of the things that happened. Something else happened. I joined Spurdvac, and And Spurdvac, if you join at a certain level, I don't know which level, but because Zach's the vice president, he reached out to me and like, you really should join Spurdvac because John's a member of Spurdvac and so's Kathy and blah blah blah. So and Hope is too. Okay, great. So we're all members of Spurdvac. Well, then they at some level they send you your Radiogram magazine.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's not much more than a pamphlet, but it is. But I mean, there's definitely stories in here. And this time they had a Jack Benny story about Christmas. And I love Jack Benny. I love reading articles, new articles about Jack Benny, and you seldom get to do that. And so I liked reading the article about Jack Benny and Christmas and see what different people's takes on it were. They were saying that it was the greatest Christmas series of episodes in any radio show. And I think that's probably right with the Christmas shopping episodes and the way they morphed over the years and everything. But what I want to talk about too, because I'm not always just positive, I can be negative too. The cover, if you notice, is Jack with packages around him and things. And this is not a real picture. This is AI, of course. So how appropriate is it to use AI of Jack Benny? I'm starting to see it more and more. I see what annoys me with AI is when you have, and you see it with stars all over the place now. Somebody celebrates a birthday, and then instead of just showing a picture of the actor, right? You can find a million pictures of the actor. They have to have one with a cake that they've made with AI, and the actor's face looks a little off and a little wrong because it's AI, and they do it all the time, or they do lots of pictures of actors, okay? With Jack, if you do a normal cover shot of Jack, that's just a picture of Jack, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to use an actual photo of Jack. Having said that, I'm totally fine with this picture. I am completely fine with this, and I'll tell you why I asked. John and I both know getting a good Christmas photo of Jack, there are like 2 or 3, and they're not even great. You've got the drunk Jack Santa thing. I don't know what's going on there and where that comes from, but it's probably from some special or something. I don't know. Yeah. And John, do you know where that picture comes from?
I don't know where it comes from. I'm pretty sure there's a microphone, so it must be some radio episode.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's the one with Jack getting is Rochester giving him a haircut, and Rochester's like dressed like from the Revolutionary War, but I think Jack's in a Santa outfit. I don't know what's going on there. And it just looks awkward because that's one thing that with Rochester, we don't really like to see him in sort of the servant role. I know that's what he plays, but it doesn't on picture, it really brings it out. The way they play it, it's never, anyway, we all know Rochester gets the best of Jack and everything. So that picture doesn't work for me that much either. So there's really not any great Christmas shots. And this one where they have the packages and the whole thing and they've created their own Christmas shot, I think that's great. I think that it works for me. I will also say any holiday thing with Jack. I mean, the Easter stuff. There's not a great. You got this one picture of Jack where he's holding a bunny, and it's like looks like it's from the 1930s or something, and so it doesn't usually tie into what you're presenting, and so there's just not a great thing. You could grab a still from the Easter episode, but even a still from that on its own just looks a little weird. Why is Jack in a white suit? What's going on? Anyway, so I can see someone doing an Easter picture of Jack that's AI. I mean, I think all the holidays are free game to me. I'm fine with that. But go ahead, John.
To promote an episode of my podcast, This Day in Jack Benny, it was the Easter Parade episode. So I took a still from the movie Easter Parade, and I photoshopped Jack Benny and Mary Livingston's head over, Fred Astaire, Judy Garland.
Yes. And it looks high quality, just like AI. It's so well done. The heads are not the wrong size or anything.
That's what I was saying. Like before we had AI, we had to manually computer manipulate these
We had
images.
to
So
do our AI-ifying ourselves.
Well, and I wouldn't be surprised if back during her magazines back in the 80s or the 70s or whatever, or anybody that was doing a Jack Benny, if they just physically were cutting out Jack's head and things and pasting them on things to truly do cut and paste old school, old school. and yeah. So I mean,
yeah, I have two things about AI. Number
yes.
one, does it look good or not? Right?
Yes.
Because some just looks terrible.
Yes.
But you know, the main thing, the second thing is, are they trying to trick people or not?
Right.
I feel like if there's disclosure somewhere it says this is AI, you know, then it's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to deceive people, oh, I found this fantastic picture of Jack Benny.
Right.
I'm not on board with that.
And people are starting to do more of that, where it's like they'll have microphones or they'll have cameras, like TV cameras in the shot and everything, so it'll look like, oh, this is a long lost behind the scenes shot of something, and it's really not. And that's already, and we're not that deep into AI yet. I think within a couple years it's going to be almost impossible to tell what's a real photo and what's not. And boy, I don't know. I don't like a manufactured reality. I want what really exists. If there's not a good shot, there's not a good shot. But like you say, currently, like this is obviously AI. And I would assume inside it probably even says it's an AI picture and who created it or whatever. But it's also not a bad shot. I mean, you look at it, it doesn't quite look like Jack, but it's pretty close. I mean, there's stuff where I've seen people do Jack, and you're like, that looks nothing like Jack. Maybe it's standing, it's doing a Jack pose or something, but other than that, it's not him at all. But like I say, I just thought it was an interesting topic to chat about. But let's get into our episode. This episode, I loved it. You know, you don't get me saying that as often as John says that, but it's just something about it just seems so much fun. And having Jack not on his own show, doing a shower of stars, there's a number of things that go into this. One is this is an episode I've wanted to bring forever, and I just haven't been able to find a copy of it that I could get. Well, then I figured out how to get this copy, and I'm like, oh, now I can bring it and talk about it because it has, and I love, for this episode especially, I love that we're doing this after the episode now. So we can spoil the heck out of it, and it's fine. You guys have all watched it. So, and if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it before we talk about it. But anyway, the Mr. Kitzel piece, Artie Auerbach would unfortunately pass away, you know, within about a year of this episode or so. And this just feels like the song and the whole thing is kind of a tribute to Artie Auerbach and his Mr. Kitzel character. It's a great little send-off. It's live. And so it just, so many things about it just feel right. And so I love that. I forgot that Mel Blanc was in this, and Mel Blanc did such a great job. Jack just feels loose, and that what helps is the other person who I can't remember the guy's name, who does the kind of throws off to the commercials and things, is a little stiff, which makes Jack even seem smoother. And so Jack is like, oh, I can do live TV anytime, and I'm always ready, and we're all good. And it just, he seemed so comfortable. There's even there's even a mistake that's made. Jack has a cup that he's filling full of supposedly water or something in one part of this, in the cafe scene, and he drops the cup, and there's no, like, he's been filling it for a little while at that point, and there's nothing that comes out. It's an empty cup. So then he just seamlessly grabs another cup, starts acting like he's filling that up, and like now he's got his thing to toast or whatever, and he's got his cup. but you realize, oh, this is all make believe. There's no that thing doesn't work, and I just thought it was a great little behind the scenes thing. And then how it's live TV, so Jack just it doesn't even like bad night. It doesn't even look like he made a mistake. He's so smooth at this, and I just loved that, and I love seeing mistakes like that. Anyway, so but before I rant and rave more, there's more to talk about. But let's start passing it around and see what other folks thought. Let's go to Hope, since we haven't had Hope forever. Hope, what stood out in this thing to you, or and if you hated it, it's okay. But
No, I
loved it.
love this episode
Oh, good,
so
good,
much.
good.
I actually, okay, I usually do not like the Shower of Stars, but this one I loved. Specifically,
Best Shower of Stars I've ever seen. I mean, I'll give it that.
yes.
Yeah.
And I love it because specifically it has one of my favorite like bits in like Jack Benny with the pickle and the mustard on top. I love that so much, and I recently found I actually have a tie-in to that now. So I when I was away on Thanksgiving break, my uncle's wife, her mother came and she said she's related to John Tackaberry. So
wow.
he wrote the song. So
Oh, yeah,
I was
right.
like,
Yeah.
so I was like, I love this. By marriage, I'm related to a Jack Benny writer by marriage.
Nice. Nice.
So I was
Big
so
connection.
thrilled. And then this came on and I was so excited. I love specifically that bit, but Jack's just so playful in this with Vincent Price and his lines, like his off the cuff. I feel like they're off the cuff remarks,
Yeah.
some of them. So I just love all that. You can tell it's live. They're not fixing mistakes. And along with the cup thing, like I didn't even notice really that. What I did notice was there was a girl that comes up afterwards and she's like, Mel is pouring her some tea, and like she just like downs that tea, and I'm like, that is not tea in there. It's like
Unless it's iced tea or something, yes. That's awesome. Well, that reminds me, you mentioned this before I forget it, that Jack was at our wedding, because you got to have Jack at your wedding if you're going to have a wedding or a big occasion. So I wore my Jack Benny cufflinks, but my cufflinks weren't the best of shape ones. So I took them into a jeweler and I asked what they could do, and they said they could re-gold plate them. And so I had them re-gold plated, so they look a lot better than they used to look. And having and I had it mentioned a number of times that people noticed my cufflinks. I wanted to look at them and have me explain about Jack and why I had them.
That's nice.
So it was delightful to have Jack at the wedding, and it seemed completely appropriate. And I'm so glad I have those Jack Benny cufflinks. They've come in handy at a lot of major occasions in my life. And then people start to associate me with having, those wearing those cufflinks and with Jack Benny. And it's just kind of nice how that all works out. And my kids definitely, I think after I'm long gone, they will think of me whenever they watch a Jack Benny show, and they'll watch more Jack Benny and listen to some and things, just to kind of spend more time with their dad. So I think that's kind of a cool thing. Anyway, John, what did you think of this show?
I thought it was great also. Lots of fun. It's always fun to see a live episode because there's a certain kind of energy that's added when it's live. And it also reminds me of the radio show, which I'm a huge fan of, because, that also was live.
Yes.
And so this episode, it doesn't feel like Jack Benny is a guest on a different episode, or sometimes when you have these bonus episodes, it's like a totally different format. This felt like a Jack Benny special by far.
Yes, yeah. And like a really good Jack Benny special, one of his best. Yeah.
Yeah, and it reminded me of the old episodes of the Jack Benny show where they're experimenting and they're sort of like, doing things with the format that are not just sort of like straight sitcom stuff. So even the fact that they're, talking about the show going on, that's a thing that's classic of Jack Benny, where they talk about the show on the show as if the show is happening somewhere else.
Yes.
So in this episode, Georgia Gibbs, the singer, comes and says, "Oh, I just did my song." Well, we didn't see that song, but I guess you did it on the show. And then Mel Blanc, like that was one of the fun parts with Mel Blanc, where he talks about how he never gets to see the performances, and so she does it for him. Always fun to see Mel Blanc, but my favorite was Vincent Price.
Yes.
He comes on, his delivery, is so great, so funny. I mean, we obviously associate Vincent Price with like the macabre and some of the spooky stuff that he always did, but did more and more later on in his career. But at this point, he still had the freedom to be versatile, and his comedy in this one is hilarious, where he's like, "I'll just stand to one side." And then of course he's gonna insert himself into it. So and whenever he would come back again, show up again, was hilarious.
I love the like Jack going, "Mama, look at Boo Boo."
Yeah, that's right. There was so much, and Vincent, okay, beyond Vincent, just, I think so many dramatic actors would love a chance to have a well-written comedy piece where they're going to come off great. I mean, Vincent, you couldn't have asked for more if you're Vincent than these episodes. And this is not the first one he was in with Jack. It's the second one with Jack, and he was in Jack's own show with Jack too. So he's been with Jack almost more than just about any other actor I can think of. I mean, like same, I guess Raymond Burr maybe was with him about the same or more, between the Shower of the Stars, between the specials, between Jack's own TV show. But so Vincent must have loved working with him, because he came back multiple times. I think Vincent, was he on the radio show sometimes too? I can't remember.
He was.
I think he was. Okay. Yeah. And anyway, just a chance to do this. I love the fact that because it was his second time with Jack, he was referring back, and Jack, they were both referring back to the previous Shower of Stars, which we already showed you folks a number of weeks ago. But for you guys, which is lovely, if you watched them, and you've watched them with us each week, then in their time frame, it was months or years between the episodes. I can't remember between these two episodes how far apart they are. And so they're really asking a lot of the audience to refer back to a different Shower of Stars that was done way earlier. We did it just a few weeks ago, so we get to have it again, and I'm sure people will remember him in the booth, the isolation booth. They were doing a skit on the quiz shows and things. And the joke was, of course, that Vincent walks out of the booth, and when he walks out, he's got short pants on, and then they play on that a number of times with seeing his knees, and they do it at least twice, which I thought was interesting, doing tying into a different episode twice. I haven't seen that before, but it was a very Jack Benny thing to do. Jack would always refer to previous radio shows and things that happened sometimes even decades before, and expecting audiences to remember that. And so this was a complete, and I didn't notice, I can't imagine that this isn't written by Jack's writers. At the end, I didn't notice who'd wrote it, but John or Hope.
I didn't check the credits, but it definitely felt like it was written by Jack.
I can't imagine that it could have been written by anybody else. And then, of course, the skit, we haven't even gotten into the last skit, but the last skit is totally reminiscent of Jack Benny from the radio show, and reminds me of the early radio show skits, like from the 30s and the 40s, more than the 1950s. And I think we were trying to figure out why it felt that way. And I think it's because it was a jungle skit, and they hadn't had a film that they'd done a skit on like that so much in the 50s and things. That was more in the 30s that they were doing that. In fact, I think this might be a take on Yellow Jack, which was about yeah, and that was a famous film, and Jack had done it on the radio show, and then to see it done on the TV show was lovely to have this. And I just this show just to Jack Benny fans, this show just gives over and over and over again, and you see him in different situations that you wouldn't expect to see him in. I was delighted by it. So
We
anyway,
said Jack so many times that my dog Jack came downstairs.
did he? Oh, good. Well, why would you name a dog Jack? I don't know. Come in here, Phil.
I also used to have a dog named I might have to take him out in a second.
It's all good.
But I also had a dog named Coco for, Conan. So
Oh yes, that makes total sense too.
Yep. Name all my dogs after comedians. Okay, he really needs to go out.
Go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
You talk amongst yourselves.
We'll talk amongst ourselves for a few minutes. It's all good.
Well, let's talk about the shower of stars. It was always fun to, have Van Johnson because he's a celebrity and he was really big at that time.
Yes.
But Yvonne DeCarlo, I guess this is she's promoting a movie called Band of Angels. Never seen that, never heard of that. Of course, I know her from the Munsters.
Yes.
So it was really weird to see her without the Munsters makeup.
Yes. And it took me a while to make the connection. I'm going, Yvonne DeCarlo. I was thinking of Batgirl because she's has a similar name, right? I can't remember.
Her first name's the same, yeah.
Okay.
Craig, I think.
Yeah. But then I was like, oh no, that's not her. And then I was, but who is that? I recognize, and then it was like, oh wait, from the Munsters. That's right. Okay. So that at least that's where I know her from. I mean, she was in other things besides the Munsters, of course.
Probably, but
it's a little these people get known for something they did. I mean, Jim Backus is always going to be Mr. Howell, and yet he did so many other things. He was Mr. Magoo and so forth. But you kind of get stuck into something, and I think the ultimate of that is probably Agnes Moorehead being Endora on and known as that to whole generations of people, and yet she was this stage and film actress. That was Citizen Kane and
Number.
Right. And radio, huge for Sorry Wrong Number on bringing that to life on radio and Suspense. That it's just, she even mentioned it before she died, that it's kind of sad that so many people are just going to remember her for being Endora. She's like, I have this whole career before this, but so that she loved playing that character. She did a beautiful job with that character. She did such a great job that it cements in, oh, that's who that person is, and that's what they do. And just like Devon Craig somewhat is, you just think of her immediately as in the Munsters. But anyway, Hope's back. So Hope, anything else that stood out in this one that you wanted to mention?
I mean, we barely mentioned Van Johnson.
Yes.
He had this reoccurring being scared of live television or being scared of television thing, and I don't know, I think the thought is that he's so popular he has no reason to be scared, and that would be funny. I'm it's a little amusing, but I'm it doesn't really ring for me. Vincent Price, who's not even supposed to be there, is stealing the show.
Yeah.
But it's Van Johnson. Van Johnson. I love Van Johnson.
Well, it's one of those things where you write a part for somebody. This is very Jack Benny thing to do. Take somebody that should be one way and put them in, make them be different, and that's
because that's
to be
what
funny.
Comedy is, the contradictions of it all.
Yes.
But I mean,
we've seen it too many times. It's
I did like the where they're just talking kind of at the beginning, and he's, I feel like Jack got a little loose a little bit because he's joking with Van Johnson about, oh, your wife doesn't like you either. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just like, you can see how amused he is by that. And that tickled me a little bit. I was like, wow, he's very pleased with himself for that line. I wonder if he just came up with it or
Yeah.
like, or if there was just something about Van that tickled him with that line. I don't know.
I don't know. And there that whole and I hope folks stuck with the show because the beginning was a little rocky, I thought, and it didn't click with me as much. And I think it might have clicked with just your average viewer, audience person watching it more than a Jack Benny fan, because we've just seen him do this kind of thing. Oh, it just felt old. It just felt like, okay, I know where you're going. I know I've been there before, and Van Johnson's going to do it. Even before you see Van, you know kind of where they're going to go with this just by the Jack's sort of setup to it. And with the whole, oh, and he was so afraid to be on, and I had to talk to him, and let's go back and look at it. That's all. It's standard Jack, but it's too standard of Jack to me. Where the rest of it all, even though it's standard Jack stuff, a lot of it is stuff we don't see often in the TV show, or it's a different take, or having Vincent to just keep things off kilter enough that it brings the humor out in every situation. It's just the rest of the show just rolls, but that first 10 minutes of it or so is just a little bit of a slog to get through, I think, in my opinion. John, did the first part, I mean, did that work for you? I mean, because maybe it does work for
Yeah. Well, I didn't think about it because I didn't know what I was going to get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're just putting on an old TV show, that's kind of what you expect.
Right.
So, I was just like, okay, this is an old TV show. It's interesting. There's some fascinating things about watching any old TV show just because it's an old TV show and we don't do things like that before. Like I found the commercials fascinating with the different cars and the way they're marketing and like the guy who does mouth noises and stuff. It's like really like interesting. So I thought, it was interesting. And then when they really get into it with the Vincent Price stuff and Mel Blanc and sort of like changing up the way that you expect the TV show to go, that's when it really goes and becomes fantastic. Now I knew that Kathy wasn't going to be here. So I looked up the Variety article on this episode.
Oh, so you're going to do a Kathy impression for us.
Exactly. I'll see if I
Kathy,
can
you've changed.
I'll see if I can read the small print. Okay. Jack Benny's one joke humor is still remarkably durable and nothing more than an extension of his own alternate week half hour. The self-effacing comedian remained his casual best on this last Chrysler Shower of Stars for the season. I agree with that. I'm going to see if there's anything interesting here. Benny's writers capitalized on the fact that the Thursday 9 o'clock, I guess, hour on CBS TV was Johnson's first live video appearance by building a good portion of the show's early humor around his resistance in appearing before the cameras. An unbilled Vincent Price slipped into the dialogue and got his best laughs by showing off a pair of chubby knees. So yeah, talk amongst yourselves. I'll see if there's anything else interesting. I thought that was
okay, but I love that. That's great. They noticed the same things we did, and I think that's fantastic. I wanted to mention about the cars really quick. I loved, this is like when cars are their most like lushly aerodynamic or whatever, where they've got the wings on them and the whole thing and they're crazy and the fins, in the back and that sort of thing. So, and they're showing off all their cars. This is 1957 DeSoto. Okay. And then the exclusive Imperial. I don't know why the other ones aren't exclusive, but the Imperial is exclusive. And they go through all their cars. And I'm thinking, yeah, these look pretty good and they'd be great at a car show. I'd love any one of these cars to have them. But the 57 Chevy is the ultimate classic and trumped all of your cars, Chrysler, and is not there, of course. But yeah, if they would have run all their cars and shown them beautifully like they did, and then they showed a 57 Chevy, you'd be looking at it and going, that's the one I want, is the 57 Chevy. So their competition had them beat by just a smidge. And yeah.
Okay. So the only thing I found really interesting, because we were talking about, is this a spoof, the skit? Is this a spoof of something in particular? It looks like it's not, because the article says they go into a spoof of those Intrigue of the Tropics tales, largely slapstick based, backed by jokes soaked in preservative.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking too, in that I believe Yellow Jack has an actor in it. It's either Maurice Chevalier or someone who's got a distinct accent. I can't remember who it is. And Jack on the radio show has a lot of fun with doing that accent. In this skit, he doesn't do that as much. And so it made it seem like it's sort of a spoof of Yellow Jack, and yet it's not at the same time. And so it's just kind of a generic spoof of that genre of movie. And that's probably why it seems to be more reminiscent of the 30s and 40s, because that's when those movies were made. So that makes sense. But I love it.
That's the one bit I didn't like that sketch. I know that, like, I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. I never liked those kinds of spoofs or anything. It's just I kind of was like, I kind of want to fast forward through this.
Well, I think also, like, you're not familiar with the source material, right? Like, we don't watch adventure, jungle movies anymore. They don't make a lot of those.
No.
No, but I mean, I'm somewhat familiar with, like, just from watching enough of the old TV shows and stuff and movies to know. I don't know, to me it just seems kind of like a trope. Like, I know it is kind of like a trope of itself, but it already was, like, I feel like too stereotypical. It's like, I don't know, whenever you try to kind of cover somebody else, whenever we try to cover somebody else's culture, I don't really like seeing that very much anymore in movies. When I was young and, like, didn't like
Well, this is not a
person,
jumping the shark to me as much as the Bob Hope on the Jack Benny show one that totally was like, oh my gosh, this is like horrendous.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that one anymore.
So that to me worked because that part was played down quite a bit, and even Vincent Price is supposed to be dressed up like a native or something when he shows up, but because it's Vincent Price, it doesn't really look, and he's certainly not in blackface or anything like that. So I was able to kind of ignore that and move on. And like we say, you always got to take all of these shows taken for the time that they were done, what was acceptable at the time, all of that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it didn't bother me too much, but I was just like, I could do without this sketch.
Yeah.
What did you think of the musical number, the dance number when they first arrived there?
That also, I was kind of like, what? I didn't like it. I still didn't like it.
Right.
I think that's also probably what made it harder for me to get into the sketch, is just like, the musical number introducing it was just, it felt off. It felt like too contrived.
And speaking of musical numbers, I'll take us a little different direction here. When I was looking at this, I didn't want to look at the one in my collection right now because I don't have it set up very well. I can't like fast forward it or anything. So I was like, okay, I'll watch the one on YouTube. So I watched a version on YouTube, and in doing that, I stumbled into this playlist of all the, or not all, of the surviving or whatever episodes of Shower of Stars. And I never knew that Judy Garland did a Shower of Stars. And she had a whole episode that was just her. I mean, and pretty much her plus, some background dancers and various things. But it was really Judy Garland tour de force. And she sang songs I didn't recognize as much. She didn't play her most famous songs, but they were really good songs, and she did a really nice job. And her dance numbers were great. And I was watching it, and I was thinking to myself, as one of these dancers, a male dancer, like took over and just did this wild dance, and I was like, yeah, you're never going to see that in a million years today. But back then, they could go, oh, we'll throw on, a 4-minute dance piece that is the lead in to her song. And there's just they would never give the time for that now and to breathe that much. And I was just delighted at watching her show. So I'm thankful for this show for leading me to that show. So if you're a Judy Garland fan, look out there for the Judy Garland Shower Stars. It's really worthwhile watching. I'm used to watching her show from a decade later, and she's starting to get older, and it not all the episodes work that well, though I love her own show. But this is kind of nice because when it's the time frame it's from, she still has some of that more youthful Judy piece. She's an in-between Judy sort of thing. And it's delightful. But anyway.
So not so much a shower of stars, but a shower of Judy.
Yeah.
Yes, that is exactly what it was. Judy is enough stars that they don't need any other stars.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
No, I'm just saying that. No, that was good terminology you were using, and that is exactly what it is. Because this episode is truly a shower of stars, right? You've got between Jack and Van Johnson, Van Heflin. I was getting confused. Which one is this one?
Van Johnson.
Van Johnson. Thank you. It's one of
the pretty one.
Yeah. And then
Bill Lundigan and Artie Auerbach.
Yeah. But it's just nice seeing and Mel and I just and I wanted to point out again that the Mel in the diner scenes is so much fun. That they keep coming back to that is kind of cool too. I love that. And then Artie shows up and singing the Pickle in the Middle song, like you're saying, is just a great. I mean, if you're an Artie fan, this show is fantastic. If you're a Mel Blanc fan, this show's great. If Jack Benny fan, this show's great. If you're a Van Heflin or Van Johnson fan, not so much. But and if you're a Vincent Price fan, this show is worth the admission for sure. So yeah. And John, anything else with this one you got?
I don't think so. I'll check my notes and see if there's anything else.
We talked
about it.
We probably left out a huge. It's so funny. We do these, and folks in the comments are always mentioning, I can't believe you didn't mention this. And a lot of times it's obscure stuff that I'm like, well, that's because none of us even knew that. But it's fantastic, the information you're sharing. So I love it when people share stuff because we love these shows. We get into these actors as much as we can. We try and research a little bit around it and things when we're presenting these. But we don't know everything, and we're not going to be able to come up with everything and all the ways it ties into things.
That's the exact thing, because the thing that I had written in my notes is not something we have the answer to. I thought maybe like Terry will be here, and he'll have done like a ton of research on it, because I was curious, because they talk about viewership. I was curious what the actual viewership was. And if they have those numbers and things like that, but that level of research is beyond my ability.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they did keep talking about it. 30 million. Added 30 million viewers.
Wow. And
No,
that's
I mean, like, that's
believable.
what
I
they
mean, these are
said
big
during the
shows.
conversation. I don't know if that's actually true.
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
But it could be. I mean, certainly Chrysler put a lot of money into this show, I would think.
Yeah.
And then just the fact that you can, between like GE's theater with Ronald Reagan introducing them and the Shower of Stars, what an interesting time for television to be experimenting with all these different shows that you could have on that were prestige shows. I mean, essentially, I think Shower of Stars is like, we want Jack Benny. Uh, he's huge, and we'll do what we need to do to get Jack Benny, and they get him, and he's essentially, well, for a time when he's doing these, he's not in that many more of his own shows, and he's on Shower of Stars probably because he wasn't doing all that many episodes of his own show at these times. I mean, he maybe had 13 episode seasons and things. So it's just kind of interesting how this all works out and how he's on a couple of the GEs that we've shared about, and we're going to be talking about one in a few minutes here. But anyway, I loved it. So Hope, anything else you've got?
No, not really.
I-
I feel like, like you said, like there's probably somebody that's going to point out something, and I usually, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to talk about like this throwaway line because I mean I find it
Yeah.
amazing or whatever. But
Well, and there's
yeah,
always going
no,
to be
I think
some
I've
lines
talked
in
about most of
these,
it.
and John picks up on them, and Terry picks up on them, where you go, "Who is that they're referring to? What is because they're of course we're watching something from what 70-ish years ago, and somebody's gonna be
Yeah, some have more references than others. This one did not have a lot of references at
no,
all.
and I was very
Very
happy for that. Yeah. Because I mean they don't work. It's like it's like I still, and I bring this up every once in a while. I love the Johnny Carson quote where he says, "You can't when you're making comedy, you can't reference anything that's over 5 years old. Time doesn't exist before 5 years old, and then you're safe." And I think that's pretty smart, generally speaking. That works pretty well for shows. Now, granted, when they be 70 years old, even if we're referring to something that's 5 years old at the time, for us, that's 75 years old. So it doesn't really work that way either. But yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes it's funny to pull something like really obscure out and that nobody knows about it, and then you can poke fun at that. But in general, yeah, nobody knows what you're.
Right.
It's a good practice to not reference something that's more than 5 years old.
Well, we had a whole. Speaking of the Bob Hope, now everybody's going to go, "Oh, I got to go back and watch that Bob Hope episode of the Jack Benny Show." But anyway, the Road to Nairobi episode mentions about sex change operation
Yeah,
somebody's having.
the Dutch girl,
Yeah,
basically.
yes.
Yeah.
And in our comments, there was a whole it was either in the comments or it was we do the live chat when the show comes out, and I have a hard time remembering which is which. But so if you tune in when our show comes out, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 Eastern on Sundays and Saturdays now with these specials that are airing. I'm usually on there in the chat, chatting with people as the episode's going, which is kind of fun. So join us with that. But anyway, part of the chat, part of what we were discussing was we were all surprised how long discussions of sex change operations and things. We didn't realize that they were doing them that early and things. And so it just kind of floored everybody and that they'd be open to talking about it. Because, and sometimes things start where you can have conversations about them and then they become taboo subjects like later. At first, you don't know. You're like, oh, okay, this is just news. And so we're talking about news. And then it becomes, oh, that's a forbidden subject. You can't talk about that anymore for a while on TV or whatever. And they just slipped it in on that episode. So it's kind of interesting how that works.
The only thing I'm thinking about that would be an old reference would be Mr. Kitzel himself, and the pickle in the middle and the mustard on top song. Actually, in some ways, you could watch this having never heard of it, and it's just like,
fun,
its own song. Is sort of like his silly theme song. But if you knew the reference, that would be at least 10 years old.
Yes. I was going to say the same thing, a little more than a decade old at that point. Also, I believe if they search YouTube for that song, I think Artie Auerbach actually released a version of it.
Yeah.
I think with Mel Blanc in it and things, maybe. I can't remember.
Where is that? I want it.
Yeah,
I searched for it.
It's on YouTube. I think I bumbled into it at some
No,
point.
I
Or at
mean,
least at some point it
where's
was.
the release song? I want to get that in my iPod.
Oh, yeah,
iPod, my iPhone. Wow, that's a 10-year-old reference for you.
People are going to be like, "What? What is that? I don't understand." Yeah, I might, and they have records of it. The records are the round things that you made of vinyl. Actually, they've become popular again. So what are you going to do?
I went to Barnes and Noble, and for the first time, I was looking for a movie, and so I went back. And I didn't see a single CD. They were all vinyl records.
Vinyl records.
Yeah.
It's actually, I'd say if you're shopping for music at local shops and things, at real places, it's actually easier to find vinyl now than it is to find CD.
It is.
Yeah.
I found, oh my gosh.
And then on Amazon, they're going to have both. So, yeah.
I mean, if you're going to get a physical media now, it's going to be vinyl again, which I do not mind.
In our local malls, there was a CD store, and it died, and they were all shut down for about a year, and then reborn as record stores, where all the same locations, same staff and everything, but instead of CDs on the shelf, there's records in their little bins.
Well, I will say the thing about records, this one I haven't even opened yet, but the thing about records is that you're getting art with it.
You don't want to give it up.
And a CD, you got a little picture. And so that's something that CDs have never been able to do. I always thought they should have released CDs in the vinyl size package and had the CD in there. And I thought maybe they would have been more successful and stuck around longer, because I think that's a piece that people always is to have
or put posters in that little CD cover. Some of them probably did that, but
some did, yeah.
I didn't see a lot of them. I saw more the lyrics and stuff, and
and I've never seen a CD case with a zipper that actually worked like the Rolling Stones did on their cover of Sticky Fingers. So
they do some cool creative things with it. Well,
you had to be a pretty rich band or whatever that had pretty good control over your label to get them to release something like that, because I can't imagine how much more money it costs to create something like that, or some of the Led Zeppelin things you could actually move, and things that had working parts.
Since I didn't grow up, before the 1990s, were there records that were different colors?
Not really. They were pretty much
because I see a lot of those now.
Yes.
I see I have a Conan record. It's of course orange, and then I recently got couple a month or two ago, about 2 months ago now, a Princess Diaries, because I've been looking for one song that hasn't been re-released from that CD record of the Princess Diaries soundtrack, and it's blue and kind of clear, it's kind of tie-dye-ish blue and clear.
Oh, there's some.
And it's very interesting. By the way,
some beautiful looking records out now that have all kinds of designs on them built into the actual vinyl, and that's pretty cool. I remember it used to be you'd get they'd release a picture disc that was a photo of somebody and spin around.
But we
always noticed the sound quality wasn't very good on those, and so all my friends, we wouldn't get those. But Now they can pretty much do any color they want, and they seem to all sound the same as the regular vinyl does. So it kind of works now. The other thing is, since Hope mentioned, uh, you mentioned Princess Diaries, what you're talking
Yeah,
about,
with
but
Julie
that
Andrews.
reminded me of Princess Bride,
Oh, yeah.
which takes us into Rob Reiner and just his passing just a few days ago. And I just, Rob, he was such an innovator, such a fantastic actor, director, movie picker to be a director. I mean, if you look, everything he did from his first movie, Spinal Tap, on up for the next decade or more are classic after classic after classic in multiple genres and not the same at all. It's like I love Mel Brooks, but all the Mel Brooks are kind of touching on that same vein over and over and over again. He plays a little bit of, one will be a Western and one is Frankenstein or whatever it is, but they still have that same sort of feel to them. Rob doesn't I wouldn't even realize that the same guy who did Princess Bride also did Spinal Tap, also did When Harry Met Sally, which is totally different, and also did a Few Good Men, which is completely different again and not even a comedy. So just to have that diversity that he and bring out the best, and you hear actors talk about the he'll say something to them that they remember for the rest of their career, and you get the feeling it was just for him, just a thing that he would say to multiple people. He might give people something they remember the rest of their lives. He might have five different people in one day that he gives them a little statement or a little thought that impacts them forever. One actor was talking about how he'd had a part in one of Rob's movies. There was a not a major part, not a minor part either. It was one of the decent players, but was offered a different movie where it would be a more impactful, bigger part, maybe second lead sort of thing instead of just part of the ensemble on Rob's. And so he took the job, even though he was conflicting with Rob's, and talked to Rob about it. And Rob said, "Oh, I would have done the same thing." And Rob's like, "It's fine. We'll cast someone else. It'll be just fine. This is better for your career anyway." I cannot think of many directors who would do that. I think a whole bunch of them would be like, "We are suing you. We are not. You already agreed to our contract. You are not going to be in this other film. This is not going to happen." And that is not what he was about at all. And people that he didn't hire, he would give advice that helped them get another role. People that he didn't hire, he would contact other production companies, tell them, "Look at this person. I think he's perfect for this role you're looking for. He wasn't perfect for my role, but he's perfect for your role." And that person would get a job because of that. Just amazing man. So a huge loss to us. And I just watched the Spinal Tap, the newest Spinal Tap movie that was just released here a little while ago. It's Rob's most recent movie. And Rob's in it a lot. And Paul McCartney's in it a decent job. And Paul does a great job. So, and Rob agreed. I mean, Rob said that he did a great job in there too. So, anyway, a fun movie to watch as well. Those characters are and it's almost feels like it's all improv. It's not certainly as well laid out as the first Spinal Tap, but it's kind of a sweet revisiting of it. And apparently, at least according to IMDb, no one's mentioned this that I know of, but it looks like they filmed two movies, maybe back to back, of Spinal Tap, and there's another one coming out in 2026. And it says it's completed, it's marked as completed. So that means we might get Rob Reiner again in another performance, a posthumous for performance, and that would be lovely. And And I would love another Spinal Tap film to make a trilogy of Spinal Tap films. I think that would be lovely. I don't know. I mean, maybe it was a promotional thing. You never know. Sometimes IMDb has things listed as a movie when it's really a video tie-in or something, and so it might not be a full thing. I'm not sure, but I'm excited to see it. It said it was coming out in 2026. We shall see. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I agree with you. I think that was a great tribute to him. And I couldn't have described it better. That his sort of like niche and his personality, totally.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just fantastic guy. Yeah. And it's just unfortunate. So yeah. And Hope, Rob Reiner, for you, was he like just, is that all of that stuff just too old of stuff, or is that stuff you're into his first stuff? I just don't know where you're at with Rob Reiner. It seems like you seem like a Princess Bride type person, but I don't know.
No, I love Rob Reiner, but I love the family so much.
Yeah.
Honestly, like Carl Reiner was like when he died, I was in news. I was working in news.
Yeah.
And it was my off day, thank goodness, because like I got the text alert and I literally screamed. I like was sleeping and then I saw it and I screamed wide awake. I was so sad. And that's kind of how I feel with Rob, except I'm just kind of more like numb. Because it's just so tragic.
I just wish Rob would have had a long life like Carl did. I mean,
Yes,
his
like
life. I
he
mean,
certainly had more years.
yes.
I
And
really
I never really get into it when people say this kind of stuff, but with how close those two seem to be, and Carl had a long life, and I'm glad he passed before, because I think if he had to deal with his son's death,
Oh
that would
gosh,
have
that would have
been
been
horrendous.
yes.
Yeah.
But that whole family, like the Estelle and like even Rami Reiner, I love the grandchildren, like the children of Rob Reiner. They're all such a talented family.
Yes.
I really want to see more from all of them, whatever they're doing, because it just seems like they have this incredible, like, artistic sensibility.
Creativity and a spark that runs through all
Yes.
of them. Yes.
Yes, and like it's fantastic. But I really did enjoy, you have pegged me right. I am a Princess Bride girl. I remember it was probably the first Rob Reiner movie that I remember watching. So my I want to say grandmother, but it's not my grandmother, but my grandmother was a twin.
Oh.
And so genetically wise, she is my grandmother, but my aunt didn't see me a lot growing up, and so she didn't like know kind of, she was always giving me presents that were like too young for me or whatever. And but I appreciated the effort. But one year, and she'd give me DVDs or VHSs from time to time. But one year, she sent me The Princess Bride, and I was put it in kind of expecting like this is gonna be kind of a boring
Hokey thing or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be a boring, hokey, like little kid movie, and it was not. It was amazing and
floors you, yeah.
Cool, like, and
the quality of actor throughout. I mean, my gosh, what an ensemble cast that thing.
It was so great. And then of course, like, I just remember watching it and like at first being like, am I watching Zorro? What am I what's happening? I hadn't seen Zorro at that point
Right.
either. So I'm like, he's like a masked man anyway. But it was fantastic. Like And then suddenly everybody's quoting it. I don't know if it had just been re-released or something, but suddenly everybody's quoting it. And so
I don't
I was
know.
like,
I don't know if John is a fan of that. It seems almost inconceivable that John would be a fan of that film. I don't know, but John, do you are you a fan of
Well,
Princess Bride? Or
it's not a movie I grew up with,
Yeah.
so I had really been hyped up for me a lot before I had ever seen it. So it's not my main movie,
Right.
Maybe not even my main Rob Reiner movie, but
Sure.
definitely the biggest cultural phenomenon
Ooh.
for my generation.
Ooh, great idea. Let's go around and say what our favorite Rob Reiner film or project is. Let's start with you, John. Do you
Well,
have
let's
a one
start
at least?
with you and then get to me. I'll look up his IMDb.
Okay. I am going to say for the serious film, I would say well, gosh, now I've forgotten the name. A Few Good Men. I would say A Few Good Men is fantastic. Oh, wait. I'll pull that back for a second. He also did An American President. Wasn't that also Rob? I think it was.
maybe? I think so.
And it was yeah, it makes total sense. Yes, it's Rob because A Few Good Men and American President are both Aaron Sorkin written projects. And so, and I always have to love An American President. I think that's the title because
The American
the
President.
work that Aaron Sorkin did on it, he used to create West Wing off of all the research that he did for that film later becomes West Wing, which I love West Wing. So I would have to say that's my favorite kind of serious Rob film, but there's parts of it that are humorous. Also, it has just wonderful performances all the way around. I'm delighted because it's one of the later performances, I think, of oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the actor's name. Alex Keaton, the uh, Marty from Back to the Future.
Oh,
Look at this.
Michael J. Fox?
Now the comments are going to light up. It's like you can't remember a famous actor, Michael Keaton, Michael
Fox?
Michael
J.
Fox.
Fox. That's it, Michael J. Fox. Gosh, Ugh. I'm getting it confused because his character's Keaton, so it's like this
Yeah, I was like, it's
in
not
a TV show.
Keaton.
No, but his character was Keaton. But no, but he just does a brilliant job in that. He's funny, he's entertaining. It leads right into some of the case. Seems like he could be right on the West Wing, and I love his performances, and his performance in that is fabulous. And then for the comedy, ooh, such a tough one. I gotta pretty much go with Princess Bride, I think. But the thing is, you can go okay for straight on comedy, Princess Bride, for romantic comedy,
He did all the
Harry Met
genres.
Sally. I mean, his and each one will be in like the top echelon of that genre of film, and so it's like wow, crazy
Yeah.
that he could do all that. Anyway, John, did you find one?
Well, I would say, here's some highlights that 'cause he's one of those directors, kind of like Frank Oz, where you don't know that it's him. It's like the movie is more, it's more about the movie than it is about the director. It's not like Wes
Correct.
Anderson, where it's like, oh, you can see from a mile away, this is a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah.
So there's
Agreed.
some I had no idea he directed, like Stand By Me.
Oh, Stand By Me,
and-
fantastic film. Yes.
Yeah, bucket lists,
Yeah.
So yeah,
Modern
so I would say the one that I think is my favorite would probably be When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably my favorite too, actually. That's the one you go to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I go to it whenever I want
All I have to, I agree with you
inspired
100%, and I just say, yes, 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 yes. It's a good film.
And like that's all of their like, that's Estelle is the mother that says
I'll
I
have what
have
she's having.
what I'll have what
Right.
she's having. And like Rob talks about like how he did like kind of told Meg Ryan how to do that in front of his mother, and like all of that. So I don't know. I think the behind the scenes of that is also just
Well,
so
wasn't that
interesting.
scene
And
just like
also
thought of?
Nora Ephron is, it's not my favorite Nora Ephron film, but I do love Nora Ephron.
But Hope, that scene, the
Yeah.
yes scene, that was thought of on the day, wasn't it? Was it in the script, or was it just sort of an improv that they sort of
I
had?
think it was so like his mother was an improv, I
Yes.
think, but I think that whole scene was kind of like already like in the script, but Meg was not, overemphasizing it.
Yeah, she took it to a whole nother level, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so Rob demonstrated how he envisioned it going in front of
Yes.
his mother, and then he realized he did it in front of his mother and was very embarrassed. But I think like I had heard Nora Ephron like this when they were collaborating on the script, where it was talking about like, well, is there any like secrets that men or that women like have? And I think Nora was like, well, we fake orgasms, and like they just couldn't believe it.
Yep, yep.
And
Well,
so that made it into the
those
script.
two scenes that work together so
Mhm.
well are that one, and then the
Pardon me for
Seinfeld
using
one
that
with
language, by the way.
Elaine going fake, 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 fake.
Yeah.
That whole that he's like the moaning, the all
Yeah,
of
yeah,
that
yeah.
was fake, and she's like
Fake, fake,
fake,
fake.
fake, fake. And that though that's a great scene too. And I was trying to figure out which one comes early. They were right around the time of each other, but I think the Seinfeld one is after
Yeah.
the Harry Met Sally one, because that's
Yeah.
one of his earlier movies. I think Harry
When
Met
did
Sally.
Seinfeld's come? I think it was in the 90s
Yeah,
and
late
early 90s, and then
maybe 89, but I think it was like 90 or 91 or something.
because when Harry Met Sally was, I believe, 89. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're around
yeah,
that
yeah,
time
they're very
frame.
close. I feel like once that was like caught on, like everybody kind of had like their take on it,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, totally. Anyway, my goodness, we got a whole another conversation going, but I hope folks have stayed tuned in for that. I think nice. I think Rob would have been happy with our little tribute to Rob. So we will see you folks next time, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Lots of great ground to cover in future presentations and things. And thanks for tuning in. And I love. I've had somebody recently, no one hardly ever does this. They don't comment on our discussion. And somebody was like, that discussion just went on way too long. And then a bunch of folks chimed in that's, some people were chiming in, oh, that's my favorite part, or that's my, or somebody, and I'm like,
that's good.
okay,
Send
says
that
they
to me.
skip the show and watch our discussion. So I'm like, okay, that is not what we were aiming for you to do. We want you to love Jack Benny, not us. We're just the after show. But
I
anyway.
can't imagine that anybody would want to hear me talk for that long.
No, right.
Well, the great thing about a YouTube video is you can always stop it when you've had just the right amount. So
yes.
If you feel like it's too long, you can skip to the next one. Yeah.
And if you don't want to hear our dialogue, that's why we throw the show first, so you can watch the show and just stop watching after the show. But it's all good. So anyway, we'll see you folks next time. And happy holidays to everybody, because this indirectly is a holiday episode because we're recording it just a couple weeks before Christmas. Well, a few days before Christmas.
Yeah, literally.
Oh man, I got to get some stuff on Amazon to get it here and my overnight shipping. Anyway, so do this next time. I gotta go shop. Bye now.
Okay.
Coming on Climax, May 23rd, The Hand of Evil, starring Vera Miles, John Forsythe, Mary Anderson. And on May 30th, The Disappearance of Amanda Blake, starring Miriam Hopkins, Lloyd Bridges, Carolyn Jones, Alexander Scorby. Week after week, top drama, top stars on Climax and Shower of Stars. Shower of Stars has been brought to you by Chrysler Corporation, maker of these 5 great cars. Plymouth, Dodge, DeSoto, Chrysler, and the exclusive Imperial. The Forward Look, Chrysler Corporation. Your call could save a city. Yes, it's true. If you were a volunteer in the Ground Observer Corps, you could give the warning call that might save a city. Our military forces are on guard 24 hours a day, but if an air attack comes, they must have warning. Your Air Force needs you as a plane spotter. Join Skywatch. Call Civil Defense. Art Gilmore speaking. Portions of the preceding program were pre-recorded. Shower of Stars has been selected for viewing by our armed forces overseas. Stay tuned for Playhouse 90 on the CBS Television Network.